How do you pick a good business partner?
People want to help people who are already helping themselves. If you're not doing nothing for you, I can't trust you to do nothing for me. I put $75,000 in, you put $75,000 in, it was a $150,000 minimum. It was a gigantic Ponzi scheme. Before you make a decision, ask yourself, what is the goal?
What's up, family? Welcome back. Cue the bass music to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. Carter, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, brother. I just ordered us some Starbucks. So
keep this party going.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man.
So, we get asked a lot of questions via Instagram, in the comments, when we out and about, YouTube channel, etc. So what we thought would be cool is if we took an episode and we just answer those questions, right? And we probably might make this a regular thing in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Maybe not like a whole episode, but like taking time on our episodes to answer those questions. So what we're gonna do in the show notes, we're gonna drop a link that actually, for those who've been paying attention, has been there for a while. And we are just now taking the time to actually answer those questions live on the show. So make sure that if you love the content and you think that we can answer your question, to use that link to submit it so that we can answer it live on the show. All right. So we're going to answer a few of those questions today. And we're going to start with one of the top ones that we saw as a trend that multiple people asked. And that is, how do you pick a good business partner?
That's probably the question we get the most by our peers too.
Yeah, because it's like hard. It's like people don't really know, like, yo, bro, I want to build with somebody, because it's almost like this thing where it's like that if it goes right, it could be amazing, but if it goes wrong, right? So it's like, how did y'all make it work? So yeah, we get that question a lot from not just our listeners and our audience, but also our peers. So yeah, let's kind of tag team this one. But go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, so I think the way you find a great business partner is first by becoming a great business partner, right? People want to help people who are already helping themselves.
Correct.
If you're not doing nothing for you, I can't trust you to do nothing for me.
Growing up, some of my greatest memories were my family reunions, right? And I was like, man, my family has expanded now that I've created this online platform. And I was like, I wish there was a way I could celebrate with my rich relatives, right? Almost like a rich relative reunion. And that's exactly why we created Wealth Weekend. Wealth Weekend is a first of its kind conference where not only are you going to have full education to learn strategies that can help you get to the next level, not only are you going to have entertainment so that it's a fun weekend and it's a vibe, but we're going to create an overall experience like you've never seen. I mean, I'm talking award shows, I'm talking sneaker ball after parties, I'm talking millionaire mixers with networking that is going to blow your socks off. So if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you click the link below, grab your seat, because it's going to be a vibe. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's get back to the episode.
If you lie to yourself,
Talk about it.
I know you're going to lie to me.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the first thing we need to do before seeking out a business partner in our business is we have to first become a good business partner ourselves. How do I become somebody of value that somebody else would want to partner with in the future? Like you need to ask yourself the question, would you want to partner with you? Like, think about this. If you haven't started your own business yet, that is a sign to me that you don't want to be in business with you.
Oh gosh,
that's coming out swinging.
Yeah, that's real, right? So ask yourself that tough question. It's like, yo, like, am I seeking help because I'm not willing to do the work on my own, right? Like, that might be the reason why you think you need a business partner. I need a business partner. Like, no, you need to get your ass up and get to work, right? Like,
you think it's some work going, brother?
Yeah, get to work. Like, I don't know if y'all watch. You probably don't watch it. I've seen a couple episodes of this show called Raising Cain. I'll see you in the clip. It'll be funnier after the fact. But it's this dude. He's like really socially awkward, and like he got out of jail, and now he's back in the streets and trying to sell drugs again. So he's pressing this little kid who's like just selling weed or whatever. He's like, yo, man, I need some work, nigga. Like he pressing him, yo. But now you need to get up. You need to get to work. What I would say next to that's really important, is you need to find someone who has complementary skill sets to you. Now, here's something that especially if you're going to a business partner with another man, like you have to kill the ego, right? Like that's the big thing. I wanted to do like a part 1B to this, just so y'all can understand how important this is. But like, number one, yes, complementary skill sets. But the reason why I brought that up is because it might mean that there's something that you're good at, but they could do it better than you had the desire to do it. And it makes the most sense for the partnership, right? Like I consider myself a very great marketer, right? I understand marketing, I understand the psychology of it, I understand like attention, conversions, etc. But I knew for the sake of what I wanted to build with a partner that I couldn't be that person, right? And so I had to kill my ego to say, who do I think could do it just as good or better, even though I think I can do it, right? But if I let my ego take over, then we would never be where we are right now, right? And same thing for you. You were the CEO of your own company before we partnered, right? So it's like, okay, well, I could still keep doing that, technically speaking. I already did it. Or I could kill my ego and let somebody else wear that hat, right?
Now, difference between me and you, I don't like do. I'm saying, I can say a lot to the audience, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I do everything you do in our business. I'm so happy I don't have to do anymore. Like,
Yeah.
and there's obviously ego in the like you have to kill around like decision making and like
Right.
Again, most people can't. Like, I have no problem saying you're the CEO of our company.
Right.
Most people don't. Most men won't have the ego to say that. They're like, no, we co-CEOs,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Can
For the sake
care
of
less.
saying-
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you do the stuff I don't want to do.
Right. Nah, that's fair. And when I say kill ego, I honestly mean just like seeing the bigger picture. That's a better way to put it. Right.
There you go.
It's seeing the bigger picture to know like, okay, man, this is a man who's excited. He's well equipped to do this in a big way for the company. Right. Why wouldn't I get out of the way and let him do that and not feel like I still need to like beat my chest and show that I could do it too, right? It's like, no, like I would play my role in it the same way you have to play your role in decision making for the company for certain things, right? But when it comes to leading that charge, I don't have to do that anymore, and vice versa.
And I think that the reason that's the case is because we have respect for the skills that person has in there. If you sucked at being a CEO, bro,
Right.
as much as I didn't want to do it,
Yeah.
God, let me put the CEO boots on, bro. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like,
Nah, for sure.
If you're watching the person fail at it miserably, then you're not going
Right.
to give them the autonomy to do it. But if they're doing it at a level that meets your expectations or it should exceed your expectations, it's a lot easier to take the step back and be
Right.
like, yo, run with it, bro.
100%. So to put a bow on that, finding somebody who, whether it's like they do something you don't want to do, or they do something that could be great for the company and it makes the most sense for them to do it, but finding somebody who has a complementary skill set or can help you divide and conquer, right? So for what it's worth, for all intents and purposes, my function as in this partnership as it stands today is making sure that we deliver on our promise and that our internal infrastructure can support the growth that we want to have. Carter's number one objective is making sure that as many people that we can, humanly possible, right, serve and support, that they can find out about us, know who we are, know what we do, and we can get them inside, right? And that's the kind of how we can divide and conquer. So he can rest assured knowing that I'm always working on those things. Hey, I hired this person. I'm working on this. I'm doing that. And I can always rest assured the Carter's going to go live, right? He's going to teach somebody's class. He's going to be in somebody's ad, right, to do what he needs to do to get the people in the door, right? And that's just, so you need to find that, right? Because if y'all just doing the same thing, because again, it could sound nice where you can have another you like, oh, we about to run it up. We can, let's do a challenge every week.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would sound good
That back
on the
end
outset.
gonna be mad shaky,
Right.
son.
It would sound good on the outset, but understanding like, yo, like you have to prioritize, or the contrarian, like someone who's so great and the CRM is perfect and the systems and the processes, but y'all ain't got nothing to manage. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta find somebody who has a strength and a zone of genius that can help you amplify what you're doing, is complementary, and help you divide and conquer so you can get more done. That's what I would say.
So that's question number one. We went long on that question, which is rightfully so, because it's a very important question. So question number two, should I put my house under my primary residence under an LLC?
No. Next question.
Like, don't let Instagram send y'all off, man.
Right, bro. Y'all be doing the most.
Before you make a decision, ask yourself, what is the goal?
Right.
What is
The goal is to say I got an LLC.
Jesus Christ.
What you would do with the LLC?
Yeah. So Well, the answer is no, but you should put your primary residence in a revocable trust.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
Exactly.
And the reason you want to do that is because, like, when you we could actually expand on this a little bit more because I got some game for this. So you want to put your primary residence in a revocable trust so that when you do pass away, that home goes to the kid that you wanted to go to or the kids you wanted to go to without passing through probate court. Another reason you want to put your home in a revocable trust is you never want to gift your.
I was hoping he was gonna go.
Yeah. So you never want to gift your kids your residence while you're alive. Don't do that,
Right?
Because they're gonna have to pay the capital gains taxes on the difference between when they bought it and when they gave it to you,
Right?
Because the gift, you don't have to pay tax on that, but you have to pay taxes on the difference of the equity in the property is your tax liability. Instead of gifting your kids the property while you're alive, put it in a irrevocable trust. That way, even if you have $1 million in capital gains in it, they get what's called a step up in basis, meaning that that's a new quote I got. When they die, the tax bill dies with them. So,
Like that. Whoever it is, you probably got two more.
Storm Leroy.
Oh, Storm Leroy. Okay,
Storm
you got two more Storm.
Two more Storm.
Two more Storm.
And
After
then,
that, it's getting adopted. Right? It's getting adopted, and we putting them in a trust as a bit of a trust for all the quotes all the quotes that used to be somebody else's.
Oh, Jesus.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that was a great question. Another question. What are some financial mistakes that you all have made, and how has that made you all better with financial literacy?
Yeah. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast now, but I know I talked about it at some point recently. One that's shared and then one that's individual. So one that's individual is I invested in.
Do you really go bring? No, because the share one we can go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
I invested in a Amazon fulfillment business, and it wasn't the money I lost; it was the headache associated with unraveling the bullshit. Oh my god! Like, so it was like 35,000 or whatever. Like, I remember telling you about it. Yo, bro, I got this store.
I said, boom. I'm like, oh, bro, okay, I'm gonna do mine next. You let me know how yours go.
I went silent. And so I invested in it, right? And like, it started out like first it took a little while to get started, right? Boom, whatever. But it's like you can just fully. First and foremost, I'm gonna say this. It's just let me talk to the camera on this, right? Like, if you ever see somebody do an ad and it says automated FBA, automated, it ain't shit automated about entrepreneurship. Okay, like unless it's the S&P 500, that's about the only automated anything you're gonna get anywhere. Digital product businesses not automated, right? Like they're scalable and extremely profitable. But like, let me just say that if you see somebody trying to say someone automated anything, it's a lie. Okay, so I set it up. First red flag was like I had to get like file this tax exempt status in like all these states, right? And that was a process. And so then what I didn't realize is that even though I wasn't transacting business in some of these states, I still had, and that was my responsibility, they didn't tell me this, I still had to file. So then I was getting people hitting me up about, yo, like you ain't paid your taxes. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Each individual
state
reach out to you about the sales taxes that you didn't pay
every state. I'm talking about, bro, I shut that shit down so fast it wasn't even funny. Like that was probably, and again, it wasn't the biggest financial mistake. It was the mistake of investing in something that I didn't know, that I thought would be passive without doing more due diligence on the opportunity. I was excited. I saw a lot of people talking about Amazon at the time. It was in the pandemic. I shop on Amazon at the time. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be lit. And it was a lot more like a firecracker than it was a candle. I'll say that.
Cool. All right, I can talk about our shared experience because it was more my idea than yours.
Yeah.
So I'll own this one. So we were, I was at an event, high level entrepreneurs, and I'm sitting at this lunch table and everybody's telling me about this account that they have that is literally printing money. I'm talking about returns that don't make any sense.
And now we know why.
20% a month.
Right.
30% a month. And I'm seeing like all these entrepreneurs like showing me their accounts. Boom, boom, boom. Some people multiple 6 figures, some people multiple 7 figures. I'm like, yo, I need in this account. The problem is that account had a minimum that I could have invested myself, but I didn't want to invest that whole minimum by myself.
But you're glad you didn't.
Yeah. And plus I was like, I want my, because like there's a minimum. So like my homie wanted to get in. Why don't we get in under the same account? So I hit up G. I'm like, yo, got this account, bro. doing 25, 30% a month, bro. Let's do it. So I put 75,000 in. You put 75,000 in because it was $150,000 minimum. Put the money in. We had friends in it talking about dude, I got my money out. Cool. We did some vetting.
Right.
But we didn't do a lot of vetting. And long story short, by the time we got in, was it maybe 4 months later?
If that, yeah.
4 months later, we found out it was a gigantic Ponzi scheme. And everybody who was in that didn't get that. If you didn't get your money out before that moment, when the word got out, everybody's money was locked in, all their accounts were shut down, and all money in it was just poof.
Vanished. Thin air. Right? Now, here's the good lesson in that. The good lesson is that even though we wouldn't have wanted to lose any of that money, we didn't invest so much that it broke us, right? To where, oh my gosh, like now what am I going to do? I bet the house on this. I just knew this was going to be the one, right? Like it stung. It was unfortunate, but like the show,
more of a pride sting than the money thing.
The show went on, right?
Yeah. Here's a lesson I got from that. I read it in a book a couple months after. It just shows how the mind, the reticular activating system is on things that you need to find out. It said, it was a finance book. It said, if you put yourself in position, you don't need to swing for the fences. All you need is base hits.
Big facts.
Like we earn enough money that if we just invested 10%, 20% of our money into the S&P 500, we would be decamillionaires by the time we need the money.
Right.
So like people who need to swing for the fences, they don't have anything to swing with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So they're reaching. They're trying to like
reaching. So like my biggest lesson was that like in our finances, and hopefully it continues in the future with the amount of money that we earn from our business ventures, you don't need to swing for the fences when you already up 30. All you need is base hits. Just win the game. You're already up 30.
Right.
You're already up 30. Like just and this is baseball we talking about.
Right.
You don't need the grand slam. Just get the base hits to keep the score up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my biggest takeaway from that moment.
No, that's huge. I think that pretty much sums it up. It's just like, yo, like the shiny balls are cool, but like stay focused. Number one, make sure you invest in what you know and understand. And if you are going to take risk, make sure you take risk with a small portion of your overall. I'm not saying don't take risk, right? But take risk with a small portion of your overall money, right? So that it won't hurt you if it doesn't pan out, right? So that's what I would add.
Cool. So this is a good question. At what point should I entertain setting up a holding company?
When you got something to hold on?
I was literally like, I'm giving 2 seconds to say it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
when you have something to hold.
Yeah. Is there a threshold for that? Probably no. But here's what I would say. Like, it's just our personal experience, right? I would say for me, right? Like, just because of the upkeep and the things you got to think about and the nuance associated with it. I mean, I'd say first seven, like we scratching the surface of 7 figures, right? I would say like maybe that's like the threshold. I mean, because multi-6, you're still, I mean, it's solid. Unless you're a solopreneur and you don't plan to grow much beyond that, like you're still really just getting started. Yeah. You know what I mean? Again, it's not to knock anybody in their pursuits, but like there's people don't realize, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, right? There's the fruit system and the root system, right? So like you got to think about the upkeep and all that's required and the nuances associated with having those things. It's not just like, oh, I got a holding company. I can say it at the networking event that my LLC owns this one and the other one's submerged in the Cayman Islands and it's wrapped with
ain't nobody looking for you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. Like nobody's so like it's a cool conversation piece, but when it's come time to file and keep up with all this stuff, that's a lot. And if you're a one-man show or you don't have a lot of people on your team or somebody you can delegate that to, that's just something that's going to slow you down from actually getting to that next revenue threshold.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think it's different for like earned income. Everything you said active for active income, for passive income, real estate. Like I would say when you have $500,000 to $1 million of a portfolio. Yeah. Right. Where you can start entertaining, get the holding company so that each property is owned in a different LLC, and then the holding company owns the LLCs that own the rental property, right? Yep. And once you have a $500,000 or more in real estate portfolio, then I would say it makes sense to have a holding company, because from a real estate perspective, the holding company can protect you from privacy and from litigation. Because if you have all your rental properties in one LLC, somebody breaks a leg in one of them, they can sue you for all of them. But when you have each property in a separate LLC, and then the holding company owns that LLC, you not only get asset protection for each property, you also get charging order protection, which means that if somebody was to sue you personally and you have your holding company set up in a favorable state like Wyoming is not going to make you pay that person the money that you owe them from the lawsuit. The Wyoming COPE system is going to say, hey, if you distribute this money from your LLC, then you owe this person, but then you just never distribute the money from the LLC. So that's when it can make sense when you have from a real estate perspective.
Big facts. Yeah, you actually did a really amazing class on this a week or so ago.
Yep.
So if you're interested in getting these types of questions and strategies answered in depth, DM either one of us the word advisor, and we'll be in contact, let you know, because we teach on stuff like this all the time inside of our Melanin Millionaires Club.
Yeah. So I think for this episode, I think those are enough questions, but I really want to see how this episode does.
Okay.
Because this episode does well, we can keep doing this. We can either add this into the middle episodes or do longer episodes on these. So y'all can let us know let us know in the comments 2 things. Do y'all want us to add a random Q&A session inside of our normal episodes so that you all can get your questions answered? Or every once in a while, do you all just want us to do a full episode answering you all's questions maybe once a month or something?
Yeah. And if this does well, we know we didn't answer a ton, but then we'll go longer, maybe do 5, 6, 7 questions, whatever the case may be.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Until next time, guys. Peace.